you all extend to you a heartfelt welcome. It is truly an honor to be hosting this event before this distinguished gathering.
Before we set the program in motion, I take this opportunity to warmly welcome all the first year students to this prestigious institution, Law Center 1. As many of you already know, Law Center 1 is one of the leading law schools in the country offering 3-year LLB course. Law Center 1 is not just a place where one studies law. It is a temple of learning, a crucible of ideas, and a place where future lawyers, advocates, judges, and scholars are shown. Over the decades, it has produced numerous legal luminaries, advocates, judges, intellectuals who have made significant contributions to the field. For me, it is truly an honor to be a part of such an esteemed institution. Law Center 1 hosts a number of societies, clubs, and committees. Among them, the Legal Services Society stands out as one of the most dynamic, active, and vibrant societies of this law school. It embodies the true spirit of law, not merely as statutes and codes, but as a living instrument of justice and service to society.
Today marks the beginning of yet another inspiring chapter for this society, where young minds are oriented not only to the study of law, but also to its noblest purpose, that is the service of humanity. We're truly privileged to have with us an august gathering of dignitaries who embody excellence in law, education, and public service. It is with great pride that we welcome them. Respected LLB, Faculty of Law, University of Texas. Professor Dr. Manju Aruna Reddy, Director Professor in Charge, Law Center 1. Dr. P.V.SARAVANARAJA-LAW, our guiding faculty convener, whose wisdom has nurtured legal services society. Shri Rajuli Bansal, District Judge and Distinguished Member, Delhi State Legal Services Authority. Dr. P.V.SARAVANARAJA, Advocate on the Board, Supreme Court of India. Mrs. Dr. Central Panel, Secretary, State Legal Services Authority. Dr. Apeksha Kumari, a dedicated faculty co-member. Your presence today adds great value to this program, and we truly grateful for the time and wisdom you will share with us.
To mark the auspicious beginning of today's orientation program, I would now like to invite our esteemed guests to kindly come forward for the lighting of the ceremonial lamp. The lamp is not merely a tradition, but a symbol of knowledge, wisdom, and dispelling of ignorance. May this light guide us throughout the event and beyond.
strength when guided by visionary leadership. To extend the formal words of welcome and felicitate our honored guests, I would now like to invite our respected PRC ma'am to kindly felicitate our esteemed guest, Justice Shri Rajiv Bansal. Next, we would like to invite our respected Kalidas sir to felicitate Dr. P.V.SARAVANARAJA sir. As a mark of these respect and gratitude, I would also like to call Apeksha ma'am, a faculty co-convener, to felicitate Mrs. Manpreet Kaur Ahuja.
Thank you, ma'am, for your gracious words and setting the tone of this afternoon for your warm work. Your emphasis on rights and duties is consequential for us to understand our responsibility and in shaping our approach towards legal aid. Now, it is my privilege to invite our guiding light, Dr. P.R. Kalidas, Faculty Convener of Legal Services Society. Under his guidance, the society has grown to new heights. A distinguished faculty member in constitutional law at Law Center 1, Dr. Kalidas, has consistently been a source of knowledge, encouragement, and unwavering support for students.
Good afternoon to everyone. On behalf of the Legal Service Society, I welcome all my distinguished guests, respected teachers, and my dear students. To introduce the society to the first year. Of course, the society when it got formed. It was formulated in the year 2012, and it is often considered to be one of the largest societies among all the committees, or you could say all the committees, whatever we are having it. Nearly we are having 25 committees in Law Center 1. So one of the largest societies, Legal Services Society. Every year, there are 600 students who are inducted, or you could say they are joining. Eagerly they are waiting to join, and of course, and as a result, I would say 60% of the students from the first year, they used to join LSS. So that itself indicates the success behind our LSS works. Actually, the object behind the society formation was to implement the values, whatever it is mentioned in the preamble of our constitution, especially the equality and justice. And equality and justice in the sense, we are thinking how to serve or how to secure or how to push the poor and marginalized people towards access to justice. We never provide justice in the sense, we are only trying our level best to motivate the people, or you could say, listen their grievances and try to push them access to justice. So in a way, we are going with the equality and justice, and that is the major motto behind the formation of this committee, or you could say the Legal Service Society. And at the same time, what are the ultimate object behind the society is we try to help the helpless. That is the major thing. And thereby we ensure the equality, especially among the poor and marginalized. And other than that, our students are ready to listen the voices of the voiceless. And of course, the affected people, or you could say, the marginalized or the poor people, of course, they have the freedom to express whatever the grievance they face within the family or within the neighborhood, or you could say, even against the government officials or even against the corrupt practices. They can express that freely, and we are ready to listen. And that is the major thing our students are doing it in a pro bono manner. So, of course, other than that, we are not only ready to listen the voices of the voiceless, we are even ready to voice for the voiceless. We are ready to voice for the voiceless, being the law students. And of course, thereby, we are also contributing to the state. How we are contributing to the state? Of course, try to implement the obligations, whatever mentioned in Article 39A of the Indian Constitution. Of course, we are covering, of course, 14, and with the ultimate aim is the equality, how we could secure for the poor and the marginalized in case of getting access to justice. The basic idea is access to justice. The ultimate aim is access to justice. Of course, we are voicing the voiceless. Of course, we are helping the helpless. And of course, we are voicing for the voiceless. That is the major motto behind it. And if we are not voicing, who else can voice? That is another thing. Of course, we are functioning with the society, how it functions. Basically, it consists of two things. One is the teacher members as well as the student members. So, student executive membership is there. Of course, after election, we used to select a few number of students for the executive committee. And basically, these executive committee runs the society. We are only, as a faculty members, we are only guiding, and it is ultimately every initiative is taken by students themselves, and even they are suggesting where they should go, whom should they approach, everything from the ground level to up to reaching or up to giving them access to justice, and even for that we used to involve even in the drafting of the complaint and everything. The student does with the guidance of the teachers. And of course, so this society achieved certain heights. Of course, when it started in 2012, and subsequently, DELSA, Delhi State Legal Service Authority itself, conferred an award in 2013, Best Legal Clinic Award within 1 year, and our effort has reflected, and we gained an award in 2013 itself. After the formation in 2012, within 1 year, our students put a lot of effort, and subsequently, the work has been acknowledged by the Delhi State Legal Service Authority, and we have secured Best Legal Clinic Award in 2013. And similarly, at the national level, so among all the clinics, at the national level, we secured Best Legal Clinic Award in 2018. This was secured by the Legal Service Society among all over India. So, of course, we are working with, of course, under the guidance of the DELSA, especially Delhi State Legal Service Authority, and similarly with the vision of whatever the National Legal Service Authority has. So, with this few words, I would like to call upon our distinguished guests to encourage and motivate our students to do furthermore work. And of course, our students already, as Madam rightly said, we are involved in a number of activities, including outreach programs and the legal aid clinics. Of course, various places they are going, like the slums or even Juvenile Justice Board and even the drug rehabilitation center, and they used to also visit some of the commissions. Now they are planning to move for the commissions. They wanted to visit like Labor Commission, Women Commission, SC/ST Commission, and of course the other commissions they wanted to visit. So other than that, this time we are also planning to move for the old age homes. And with these two words, of course, we will motivate our students, continue to move forward. Of course, they will make use of it. And one more thing, it is not the least one. Of course, the student also gets benefit out of this society, and that is the ultimate thing. Of course, the student, we are showing that the legal service society shows exposure to law practically, and similarly, this practical experience, of course, they can move forward and they can, of course, they can create their own kind of the legal services to the society in the future. And of course, other than that, the legal service society creates a responsible citizen. That is most important. We are creating the responsible citizen for the society and not only making their legal awareness. And it is the most important thing what we are going to gain out of our legal service society. So hereby, I request our distinguished dignitaries to deliver or you could say that motivate our students and encourage our students towards the future programs.
Now, sir, P.V.SARAVANARAJA, I hope it all because we will be assisting us first. Law of Dr.P.V.SARAVANARAJA, Advocate of the Supreme Court of India. He completed his law degree from the prestigious Dr. Ambedkar Government Law College, Madras, and has over 18 years of distinguished experience as an advocate on before the Honorable Supreme Court of India. His contribution to the legal field and his expertise in advocacy serves as an invaluable guiding example for aspiring lawyers.
Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible? The most respected Honorable District Judge, Shri Dr.P.V.SARAVANARAJA, respected Professor Dr. Manju Arora, Professor in charge, my dear sister colleague Mrs. Manpreet Kaur, Dr. Kalidas, teacher convener, and my dear sisters and brothers of Delhi University. I humbly refer you as the custodian of Indian Constitution. The students are the custodian of Indian Constitution. Why? The reason is being reflected in the preamble of the Constitution of India. We, the people of India, and to secure to all its citizens and given to ourselves. Therefore, I request each one of you that the Supreme Court alone is not the custodian of the Constitution, dear friends. It is everyone's duty to protect the Constitution of India. It is not something that you require a particular post to discharge your duty. As whatever you are in your individual capacity, you can discharge your duties. That is why it is beautifully said, have your heart, make your start, and don't hesitate to play your part. That is very important. So therefore, we have gathered here to understand what is our role today. As a student, what is your role? As an advocate on record, what is my role? So we are going to explore this topic regarding our role. Now, before going on to the topic, when I refer to our teachers, distinguished guests, I remember an old adage, that is, Mata, Pita, Guru, Deva. What does it mean? When a child is born, mother introduces child, father to the child. To the child says, he is your father. Father is being introduced to the child by the mother. After 3 years or 4 years old, when they are getting admission in the school, both mother and father jointly take the child to the best school, to the best of their ability, to find out the guru. And both Mata and Pita says, they are your guru, respect them. They are the guru who is going to dispel the darkness of ignorance and light the lamp of knowledge. That is what it symbolizes. So guru, what is the duty of the guru? Guru makes the child to realize their inner strength. Where is the Almighty? Almighty is there in our service, in our heart. So therefore, the duty of the guru is to realize the inner strength. That is what Swami Vivekananda has said. Having faith in millions of gods is of no use unless and until you have faith in yourself. The history of the world is the history of few men and women who had faith in themselves. So that is most important, dear friends. You have to discover yourself. You have to discover yourself. In short, DU. Discover yourself. That is the object of Delhi University. So this orientation program is going to help you to discover yourself. Who are you? And what is your role to play in legal services society? So how am I going to address this topic, dear friends? That is very important. Here I don't want you to be a mere listener. If you are stepping into the shoes of mine, how are you going to deliver a lecture to the audience? So I want you to travel along with me, explore this topic, how we are going to explore. So it is Legal Services Society Orientation Program 2025. What is the meaning of orientation? Introducing or familiarizing the society, legal services society, to the newcomers, to make them expertise in the field. It is like a sort of training to the newcomers. So that is what the orientation is. So how am I going to deliver this under 3 headings, dear friends? I focus on the Faculty Law Center 1 motto, that is EEE. Educate, number 1. Number 2, AOR. Number 3, excel. So I thought it is appropriate to deliver the lecture on these 3 aspects: educate, AOR, and excel. So my entire topic would be on these 3 headings, dear friends. Now let us talk about what is educate. What is the meaning of education? Education is something that we are imparting knowledge, giving our rich experience to the newcomers. Therefore, legacy is carried forward. That is what we have learned from our parents, our forefathers. So let us understand this education means. So I would like to take you to during independence era, when our freedom fighters were fighting for independence of our country. Our mother India were just under the Britishers. So now, in the year 1946, our freedom fighters knew that we are going to get independence somewhere in the year 1947. But the freedom fighters, the next task on their shoulders were, what will be our destiny of our country? Though we are going to make the Britishers run out of our country, what is the next task? We as the Indians blamed the Britishers for everything. Now the Britishers are going to leave our country. So how to govern our mother India? So they thought we should have a legendary Constitution of India. So how to draft this Constitution of India? Take out the best provisions across the countries and see to that it suits our Indians. And our Dr.P.V.SARAVANARAJA-LAW, who was born in a very humble background, even he was not allowed to sit along with his students, and he was not allowed to drink water in the common drinking place. He was also sit at the dog's place. he was made to be a chairman of the drafting committee to decide the destiny of this country. What was the transformation, evolution of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar who was considered as untouchable. Later on, he was made to make a destiny for our country. The secret is, dear friends, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar himself revealed there are 3 secrets for his evolution in life. Firstly, educate. Secondly, educate yourself. Thirdly, educate yourself. Education is the only way where you can transform, where you are considered as untouchable once upon a time. You make enough provisions in the constitution, abolition of untouchability, right to equality, right to freedom of speech and expression. So everything was made only because of this education. So having found the legendary Constitution of India, where do we get this justice? Now we are talking about the justice to the poor people. Why not to the rich people? First and foremost is justice to all. That is important. Access to justice by everyone. That is most important. There was a note of caution given by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. We have drafted the best provisions in the Constitution. But the best Constitution will turn out to be worst if it is governed by the bad people. But bad Constitution will turn out to be good if it is governed by the good people. So the emphasis is not on the provisions of the Constitution, dear friends. The emphasis is on the personality, is on the person, not on the provisions. Therefore, how to be a good person? That is most important. What the post that occupy, that is immaterial. Whatever you are there, what is your role? That is most important. So based on this note of caution, let me take you to the further lines. So, preamble provides justice, social justice, economic justice and political justice. If we travel further, Article 14, equality before law and equal protection of law. Article 21, it speaks about right to fair investigation, right to fair trial, right to speedy justice, timely justice is all implicit in Article 21 of the Constitution of India. More particularly, Article 39, capital A, equal justice and free legal aid. To whom? Free legal aid is to the poor, to the weakest section, to the marginalized society, where they cannot compete with other people, where a rich man can contest the case before the trial court, before the high court, even before the Supreme Court by engaging top senior advocates, where their appearance fee per appearance is itself 10 lakhs or 15 lakhs. For final hearing it is 25 lakhs. People are ready to pay because they deliver the goods. But what about the other side of our country, where the poor man, will they be in a position to enter into the Supreme Court? Now the position is yes. There is a Supreme Court Legal Services Committee where they can get a free legal aid. So this is with respect to the education is concerned. Now let me move on to evolve. The next heading is evolve. So what are we going to deal with evolving topic? See, this 39 capital A, which talks about the state shall pass any legislation or any schemes to provide free legal aid. So, in order to give effect to Article 39 capital A, Legal Services Authorities Act 1987 was enacted, under which National Legal Services Authority Act at the national level, State Legal Services Authority Act at the state level, and the District Services Legal Authority Act at the district level, where a poor person can approach and get a remedy. So this is the scheme of the act. Now, with respect to the awarding is concerned, how are we going to put this, whatever we have studied in the preamble, Article 14, Article 21, Article 39, Capital A in real terms? So, I am going to share my personal experience, dear friends. I was also a empaneled advocate on record in the Supreme Court Legal Services Committee. What is the eligibility criteria to select the AORs? Firstly, competency. It's very important. Secondly, most important aspect is integrity. This is what note of caution said by our Dr. P.V.SARAVANARAJA-LAW. We need a person with integrity. Third aspect is experience and suitability. So these are the four aspects based on which advocate on records being empaneled in the Supreme Court Legal Services Committee. So in this Supreme Court Legal Services Committee, I had golden opportunity to deal with many cases. So let me share some of the cases which I dealt through Supreme Court Legal Services Committee and some cases where we have dealt in pro bono also. That is what I am saying. You need not be a member in the Supreme Court Legal Services Committee to provide free legal aid. When a claim comes to you, if you find that he is not in a position to pay you, you can always tell him you can pay only the expenses, clerical expenses, filing expenses. We will do it pro bono. So it doesn't mean that you need to have a tag of legal aid counsel. You can do it on your own. So I am going to deal with few cases dear friends. Firstly, this was referred to Supreme Court Legal Services Committee. When the client, here a girl, writes a letter to the Supreme Court Legal Services Committee that a case has been filed against her. The restitution petition is regarding a matrimonial issue. A husband has filed a restitution petition in Dehradun. Subsequently, the wife has filed a domestic violence case in Jaipur, Rajasthan. Now she wants a transfer from Dehradun to Jaipur. So it involves two states. Therefore, she has preferred a petition before the Honorable Supreme Court of India. But she was not having any means. Therefore, she approached to Supreme Court Legal Services Committee. So we are in the panel. So we received a letter that this case is being assigned to the state. So we drafted the entire petition. We filed it before the Honorable Supreme Court. The Honorable Supreme Court issued notice to the husband. So once notice goes to the husband, he has entered his appearance through engaging an advocate. The court felt, being a matrimonial case, we will refer the matter to the mediation. So there was a mediation where the girl was present, the parents were present, and boy side also their parents were present. Ultimately, they mutually agreed that we will divorce. So they entered into a settlement agreement that all the cases will be withdrawn by the respective parties and they will get a divorce before the Honorable Supreme Court with a permanent alimony. So settlement agreement was made and it was presented before the Honorable Supreme Court. The Honorable Supreme Court invoked Article 142, an article which empowers the Honorable Supreme Court to do complete justice. Dear friends, you must have heard about substantial justice, timely justice, speedy justice. You will find only complete justice under Article 142. To do complete justice, the Honorable Supreme Court can pass any orders. So in this case also, by invoking Article 142, a divorce was granted, the direction to the husband to pay alimony, a huge amount to the wife. That was happened on 14th of February 2025. Ultimately, thereafter, dear friends, the integrity part. Once they win the case, once they receive huge amount as an alimony, they try to give you some token of amount. But it is being a Supreme Court Legal Services Committee matter, where we are not supposed to charge even a single penny. So we politely say, we cannot do it, we cannot accept it. If it engaged us privately, independently, we could have charged much more. But when we are coming to Supreme Court Legal Services Committee, we cannot charge. But nobody is seeing us, dear friends. But this is where our quality lies. This is where our integrity lies. And when we go back, also we test many people. If you go to Supreme Court Legal Services Committee, you get timely justice without paying single penny. So this is a message, dear friends. Even they may try to gratify you. As a token of love and affection, they want to pay you something. But politely you can say, it is not appropriate for us to receive the amount. This is what the integrity I am talking about. Second aspect is, this is a criminal case. Though it was not referred to a legal aid matter, but we charge very nominal fees. The case, name of the case is Raja-Lawsingh versus State of Uttar Pradesh. What is this case about? Father and son. Father was Ram Avatar Singh, son was Raja-Lawsingh. A1 father, A2 son. Both were convicted by the trial court for the offence of murder under section 302. But to punish Raja-Bhaiya's son, they removed section 34, common intention. So 302 read with 34. Both of them were sentenced to life. So now they are agreeing, both the son and the father are agreeing. So they preferred an appeal before the Allahabad High Court. Honorable High Court also confirmed the sentence imposed by the trial. Now it's a concurrent finding where both the father and son were imprisoned to life. Now they are approaching us. Dear friends, this is where I want you to pay complete attention. How the steps taken by the advocate, how the attention is being paid to the case, how it changes the life of a person. This is a classic case where you can bring a life to a person. So in this case, the case was given to us. When we were reading the brief, generally we start reading the judgment from the first paragraph. But we were told by our seniors, you should not start from the first paragraph. You should start from the beginning, in the court of. So why do we read that? We can understand in the court of which year it was delivered, which month it was delivered. That will help us in computing the limitation. Whether was it appeared to an advocate? If it is not appeared, then violation of principles of natural justice. That can be taken as one of the ground. So while seeing the cause title, I found that in Raja-Lawsingh case, the cause title shows like this. Raja-Lawsingh, age 17 years, appears to be 21. 17 years appears to be 21. Noticing this material fact changes entire life, dear friends. Reason is, when he was below 18 years, he will come under the juvenile and he cannot be tried by the trial court. So therefore, in order to prove his age, I asked for his 10th month statement, in which the date of birth was shown. I calculated it because at the time of commission of the offence, he was 17 years and 2 months old. This point was never taken before the trial court, even before the Honorable High Court. It was not considered at all. So what we did, Raja-Lawsingh has got a good case than his father. So we did not file a case on behalf of his father at the first instance. We filed case only on behalf of his son Raja-Lawsingh by taking a special grounds, additional grounds, that he was a juvenile at the time of commission of the offence. Therefore, the trial was nullity and the imprisonment should not be given to him. It was supposed to be decided by Union Justice Board. So we made these grounds. Now the important question is, the points or the grounds which you have not urged before the trial court or before the High Court, can you take it for the first time before the Honorable Supreme Court? The answer is yes. Because otherwise it will lead to miscarriage of justice. He will be spending almost 14 years of throughout his lifetime behind the bars. So what goes to the root of the matter can always be asked before the Honorable Supreme Court. The only aspect is we have to prefer an application for additional grounds. And we have to explain what prevented us from urging those grounds. So we filed an application. The matter was, the notice was issued to the state of UP, and to find out the authenticity of his age, matter was referred to the Union Justice Board. They gave a report by saying that he was juvenile at the time of commission of the offense. Now, through the report itself, we have found he was a juvenile. Then we have argued, my lords, we are not only pressing this point, we are pressing for acute death, that he did not cause any death at all. Then Lordship asked, what was the reason? Because the deceased had bullets. They had a bullet injury. But what was the prosecution case? That he was carrying only the knife. There was no injury caused by knife at all. So therefore he was mere spectator. There was no role attributed to Raja Bhaiya Singh. So we not only argued for the juvenile, we argued for the acquittal. Ultimately he was acquitted. So the message here is, assuming that I had not noticed that age, if I have not noticed, and it was not brought to the Honorable Court's attention, definitely the matter could have dismissed. So, by your contribution, by your complete attention to the case, you can bring the life to a person. Thereafter, subsequently, we filed a case for his father that was dismissed. Because we did not file the case together, because the color of father will definitely come to the son also. So strategy is important. Number two, your complete focus. The object is, dear friends, we as a lawyer, we are thinking it is only our brief, it is somebody's life. No. When Raja Bhaiya Singh's life is involved, it involves our life also, our reputation also, our advocacy also. So therefore, whenever the case comes to you, don't see that it is a life of somebody, it is a life of yourself also. So that is most important. And regarding many cases that we have brought for medical students, we have brought government seats. Even a property was lost by a senior citizen. We argued the case, we brought the property. Ultimately, dear friends, did we earn 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs out of this case? The answer is certainly no. But what we have earned is the satisfaction which cannot be compensated in terms of money. That is important, dear friends. We all think about earning, but before that, there should be L to earning, that is learning. Without learning, you cannot earn. So you first focus on learning, that is most important. So having completed education, evolving, now coming to the third topic is excellence. Where do we get this excellence, dear friends? We always talk about fundamental rights under Part 3. Under fundamental duties, Part 4, capital A. More particularly, J is there. 51, capital A, subclause J, which talks about every citizen has the duty to strive for excellence in all spheres of individuals and collective aspect, so that our nation constantly rises towards an achievement. So that is important. So excellence in the sense, trying to be perfect, because there is no definition of perfection. It is every work that we do, it should be to the best of our ability. That is what the excellence is all about. So Law Services Society has organized this orientation program to educate you, to evolve you how to put those theories in practical aspects, and then you have to prove yourself by showing excellence to bring the real goals enshrined in the preamble in reality. We generally, our office has a practice that we always praise our mother India by reciting Janaganamana. But who is our father? Who is our father? That is the question. Father is, let us define who is the father and let us introduce who is the father. Father, one who protects the territories of the mother India. Father who protects the citizens, who provides the fundamental rights, who provides fundamental duties, and how the nation should function as the legislative, executive, and judiciary. So this is all provided by our legendary father, dynamic father, organic father, living father, that is the Constitution of India. All the provisions in the Constitution are traveling towards the one goal. That is what is enshrined in the preamble of the Constitution of India. According to me, dear friends, in my humble opinion, preamble our unity, preamble our dignity, preamble our sentiment, preamble our commitment, preamble our breath, preamble our health, preamble our goal, preamble our soul. So with the sense of sentiment and commitment, I request every one of you to recite preamble along with me. Therefore, let us praise our father of our India also, that is the Constitution of India. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status, and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation in our Constituent Assembly. It is 26th day of November 1949. Do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. Thank you so much.
Grateful for the profound insights you have shared with us today. Your speech powerfully emphasized the priceless role of the Guru, not just as a legal guide, but as a catalyst for self-discovery and growth. Your words have left an indelible mark on all of us, inspiring us to pursue justice with renewed dedication and integrity. We sincerely thank you for your time, wisdom, and exemplary path you continue to illuminate. Thank you very much.